Good morning. Right, after chasing the dog where he's running up the jetty. Okay, so I'm going to go conger fishing this morning. It's about 25 to 6, so hopefully I'll get the 6 o'clock lock. It's a short tide, so it's not really good for lure fishing today, so I'm going to go out. It's a perfect tide for congers. But there's a wreck that I fish about 11 miles out, and it's loaded with congers, but I've never really had one over 40 pound. But let's go out and have a go. So I've got a bucket full of cuttle here, which has been plaguing my freezer. So yeah, I'll get the engine set up and everything. I'll get myself round to the lock and steam out 11 miles and hopefully have a couple of congers. Right, I'm just going to get the unit set up, one on the back, and get myself ready. Kind of skip out the way. So yeah, I'm desperate to try this new rod I've bought. I'm waiting for the reels to turn up on Monday from Japan. They've cost me an absolute fortune, but trouble, I've waited a year for them, and I went in the tackle shop on last week, and he told me that they've moved the inspection date until January, and that doesn't mean they're coming in January. That means that that's when they've been moved to. So you know, that's another sort of 6 months away. I can't keep waiting. I mean, I've been hit with VAT and customs tax and everything else, so the reels that were going to cost me about 600 quid, I think it has ended up costing me about 800 quid, but I mean, oh well, might have to do a couple more days at work. But yeah, let's get this unit on, get the engine down, and as I say, I'll set one. I think I've got one rig already made up, and then I'll make another couple of rigs up so you can see what I do. Basically same sort of knot, only a very small leader, about a foot long. You want to pin that bait to the bottom. That's what that's all about, is getting them, and then hopefully we'll draw these congers out. But I'm gonna anchor off this wreck a good 100 foot and trickle myself back. I want to draw these congers out. So as I say, it's quite a good wreck. I don't want to tempt fate, but I've had quite a few on there. I haven't had one over 40 pounds off this particular wreck, but they must be on there. But hopefully I'll get one today. Now what I'm doing is I'm tying about a 6 foot leader trace on here. Normally I tie this with a 100 pound mono. It just stops the braid rubbing on the wreck, and I can't seem to find my 100, so I've got some 150 here, but it's a little bit overkill, but it'll do. And I'm just doing a similar sort of knot to what I do joining mono to. That's it, so that's super strong. Okay, I've just got out to this wreck now, and I'm just seeing which way we drift and everything else, and it doesn't look like we're drifting fantastic actually. Might have just been the way I come round. I'll spin back round. I'll say it's a 5.9 metre tide, so not a lot of tide today. Would be no good for wrecking or anything like that, or refishing. You just wouldn't get the pace of water. But I'm desperate to try my new rod out, but I'll get the reels on Monday, so hopefully I'll be able to get out sort of midweek. So let's get ourselves back round on this, see where we're going to drift. I'll just turn that engine off. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the buoy on and steam my anchor out. A couple of times now I've pulled it up with the winch and dragged the anchor through the wreck, and you know, obviously you lose the anchor. So I'll set the anchor, put a buoy on, and then when I go I'll steam away from the wreck, and I'll show you how I steam the anchor out with a with a bopper. I'm just letting myself settle now. Dog's getting round the front. Let's get these boys over. Yeah, really, conger fishing is about an hour before slack water and sort of into slack water, and then obviously you start to turn, so you're moving off the wreck. So I'll see, hopefully I'll hit them before that happens, and then I might just have a little flick around with my lure rod. But yeah, I think we're getting some sort of drift line now, so I might better get on this lovely. So let's just do another drift and I'll have a look. So just get my life jacket on, and while I'm waiting to see where I'm drifting, I am actually going to chuck my little lure rod down. I hate this strap, but I know you've got to have it. So generally you're drifting like this, sort of left to right, but every tide's different, but we seem to be going sort of this way at the minute, so I'm just going to mess about with this while I'm waiting for it to sort itself out. So I know once you put your anchor down you don't want to keep messing around, so I'll just have a little flick about with this while I'm waiting. Lovely new rod, 10 ring. Yeah, you want to be sort of right on that wreck. I can see a few fish down there. I don't know if the sovereign serpent's going to be down there today. As I said, I've had, oh look, we've got a seal. I don't know if you can see that. There's a seal there. Let's see if I can turn that round. Huh. Lucky I'm not wreck fishing today. They'll absolutely destroy it. Yeah, so I think I can get on this quite easy. It, as I say, it's drifting this way, so I think if I get myself anywhere up to the top, I'm not going to mess about. I think I'm going to get my anchor down because it's sort of about 50 minutes before I get onto slack water, so I want to be down there now really. So let's not mess about with this. I've got plenty of time to play. Right, I can see where I am, so I'm going to set the anchor. Let's move myself back round. And generally you want to be about 300 foot, at least 300-400 foot away from this wreck, so that you're not going to drag your anchor in it. So I just follow up the same line as where I've been. Hopefully that should set me. So I've got a scale on this plotter, so I know roughly where I want to be away from this wreck. So I'm about 100, about 200 foot. So I reckon I'll set my anchor in. I'll set my anchor in here. Right, so what I've done, I've put the anchor down and I'm going to let it set, and then once it's set I'm going to let it trickle out. So once it's holding and I'm turned, then I'll let the anchor out. And really what you want to be seeing is, you don't want to see the whole of the wreckage, you just want to see these little spiky bits come up on the sounder. So I can feel the boat starting to move around now. Right, so I think we're holding. I can feel the boat turning me round. So once I'm turned round, then I'll start to pay that line out, because I'm about a good 300-400 foot away. So hopefully I'm going to get on this. If not, I'll have to re-anchor. Right, it looks good there, so I'm going to pay some line out. I can pay the line out from here, and then I can see roughly when I want to be where I need to tie off. So I know I'm a good 450 foot away from this wreck, so it won't snag in the wreck. But what I've learned through experience is to not to pull your anchor up by the wind. If it slips, stop it, you two, wait. If it slips, then it'll end up dragging through. Wait, stop it, stop biting. It's getting a bit boisterous, the puppy now. Yeah, it looks like we're going to drift back nice on this. Wait, stop it, get in. Yeah, hopefully we should be about in the centre of it time we slip back. Strange how tides, you know, normally it runs like that. Different days moves you different ways, you know. There's no wind really today. So I'm about 150 foot away from it now. No, a bit more than that, a couple of 100 foot away. Skip, stop biting. She'll set him straight. Wait, come on, stop biting. So yeah, it looks like we're going to get on it quite nicely, hopefully. Yeah, I'm about 150 foot away now. Let me go around and tie that off, I think, it's time to swing round. Right, so I've just tied myself down, and then I'm hoping it's going to swing us into the centre. So let me see if I can get a screenshot of this for you. Right, so basically I anchor myself up here. There's my scale, my 100 foot. So I think the time that the line's gone out, I'm just starting to move around now. Might have to shift myself out slightly. What you're looking for on this sounder is for some little spiky bits of the wreckage. So I might have to let out a little bit more line in a minute. I think I'm pretty much held there. I might have to just pay out about another 100 foot. Let's have a look. Yeah, we're settled there, so I think I need to pull out. I'm just hoping I get, I would have liked to have been here really, but anyway, let's have a look. Let's go and move and pay a bit more out. Right, so I've just paid out about another 80-90 foot. What I might do is just drag us back a bit. See where that takes us. see if the line's nearly tight, so I think time that tightens up, that might swing us right round onto it. So you can be too far in it and the congers are just going to take you straight back into the wreck. You really want to draw them out. You want to be, you know, good 100 foot away from it, because obviously time your line goes down, then you're about sort of 50 foot away. So we're just starting to swing round now. I think we might be all right here, I'm hoping. Sometimes what you can do is you can tie your rope around a cleat round the side, and that'll move your boat round, and also you can use your engine to move your boat round. You know, as I explained in a previous video, you can move that round and it'll turn you round. So if need be, I can tie that rope round here and it'll swing the boat round, and vice versa. I'll be honest with you, I'm not really happy with where I am. You know what, I'm going to reset the anchor. Okay, so what I'm going to use today is I've got a Dower Kanzaki 80 class rod and a Penn Fathom 40 lever drag with 80-pound braid on, and I use a 100-pound rubbing leader, but I've only got 150, I can't find it. So I've got a nice strong snap swivel barrel on there, which I connect my trace to, a bead and a boom. And what I'm going to use is a 10-0 Cox and Rule meat hook. I have about a foot, just over a foot long trace. I want that pinned on the bottom, and I've got a muppet on there. So yeah, looks like we're good there. Right, so let's get this clipped on, and I'll get a bait over, and then I'll show you how I make this rig up. So literally you clip this on this swivel. Then what that does, that locks on there, that ain't going nowhere. Okay, right, because it's not much tied, I'm still going to use a 12-ounce lead because I want it pinned on the bottom. So I'm going to use a 12-ounce. Be honest, I'll probably get away with an 8-ounce today, but these reels are super powerful, so I'm just going to stick a 12 on just to save any messing about. Right, let's get into the dirty cuttle. Right, I've got these here. Cuttlefish, I find, is the best bait for congers, without a doubt. I know a lot of people like to use mackerel, but my experience, it's cuttle all day long for me. So I'm just going to take this bone out. Try and take it out. There it is. My lovely boat is going to be covered. So yeah, there's like a bone in there, and that's the bait there. Nice and juicy. I'll put that on whole. So literally all I'm going to do is just go through it once and out, and that's it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to slash through the head, poke the eyes out, and just stab it up a bit just to release the juices. Right, and that is it. That's the first bait. Let's get that over. So yeah, we're pretty good. So we're in 94 foot of water. Alright, that's on the bottom now. So you don't want to have this, you don't want to have the drag on or anything like that. You literally want to have that, and as soon as that, it's a very, very subtle bite, the conger bite. It's just a little tip, and you really want to be on that straight away, because it'll drag it into the wreck. We have moved slightly up, but I'm still really where, you know, a good position, and hopefully the smell of that cutter will draw them congers out. Right, I'll make a rig up now and I'll show you how I do this. So this is just 250, so a nice big 10-0, and I'm going to put a muppet on it and a swivel. So basically, let's come here. Basically the knot is the same one as I've always showed you, super strong. So literally through the eye, go round the line twice, make a loop over that, and then go through that loop twice, and that is foolproof. I don't know what it's called. I think they call it a grinner, I'm not sure, but it works for me. I'm not making that look very easy, but it is an easy knot. Okay. So that is that there. That's the knot. Tighten that up. So I'm going to stand on this and pull it so it pulls nice and tight. That's it. Right, I'll trim that up. Trim that tag end. And then I only literally want about a foot. You don't want to have a lot, because you want your bait on the floor. And then I'll put this muppet on. That one's already got a hole in it. Put the muppet on like that, and then just put a nice strong barrel swivel on. Same again, same knot again, through the loop, round that line twice, make a loop. It's quite hard to do with 250, but, and then through that loop twice. And that's it there. Wet that. I can put that round there to pull. So I've got a little, that's it. And that's that one, about a foot. Now I think I've got a little inquiry on that rod now already, so hopefully, so we are dragging around a little bit. Now I don't know if this is going to be fatal fishing two rods today, but I shall try it. Sometimes it can be chaos, really, you know, sometimes you just want to fish one rod, but I'll put two out, why not? So exactly the same setup, exactly the same rod. These really are bulletproof, these for congering. I mean, you could probably use them for shark fishing. Super strong and super strong reels. Another 8-ounce lead. Okay, and where's my trace? Yeah. So I just clip that trace on. Right, there's another nice size cuttle, so I'm going to chuck them down whole, get that bone out. Now I'm going to slash the head on this and slash the sides a bit, just to release that juice and give it a good stab up. Okay, and put this hook through. Like that. That's a lovely bait. Right, let's get this one over the side as well. So I don't really want the two rods to, if I get one, it's going to be mayhem really, having two rods out, but it doubles my chances. Two scent trails down there as well. Alright, that's on the bottom. So I'll try and put this one here and keep it out of the way, and hopefully I can get it out that rod holder when it goes. So yeah, I mean, we're just swaying around, but we're right on that wreck, so I'll try and turn my wheel round so it moves us round slightly, but you know, we're pretty much on the money. We just want that nice little tap tap tap. That's stating me already. Let's try and get a little bit organised. Yeah, it's still quite warm out here. Sun's starting to come up. Hopefully we'll hook into one. I don't know what the dogs are going to think. Well, Pip's all right with them, she knows, but I don't know what the puppy's going to think when he sees a thrashing eel over the side. So yeah, it's not those of you who don't do eel fishing, it's not the sort of lunge that you would expect of a powerful fish like this. Eels, conger eels, are the hardest fighting fish in the sea. They're the only ones that can swim backwards, you know. They're super powerful, fantastic creatures to catch, but it's just a really little subtle bite, you know, almost like a pelt bite. I think there's something going on there. See if I can move my rod over so you can see this. So yeah, I'm about where I want to be. I'm not quite in the wreck. I'm just about 100 foot away. These congers generally come out, they're quite a lazy fish. They come out, you know, sort of just before slack water, which we're about 20 minutes away from slack now, maybe a little bit more out here. So we're about right, even though I did have a bit of a mess about with the anchor first thing. You do want to be, you know, on the, you know, right on that wreck. I was just over too far, I think. And generally this wreck fishes better on the ebb, but I've got things to do this afternoon, so I'll try it on the flood, you know. Oh, it's warming already. I think I might take my jumper off. I'm itching to try this new rod out, so I think I'm going to have a cast up this wreck here and just have a little play while I'm waiting for these eels to hit. So this is when it'll all go pear-shaped. We've got 3 rods out and then you get a conger on. I'll say there was a seal here earlier when I pulled up, which isn't always a good thing. Lovely to see, but destroys the fishing. Yeah, I'm itching to get a fish on this new rod. I say it's lovely. I've got the whole range now. I'm going to do a video on these rods and the setup that I use. I've got, as I said, this is the 5 to 28. I've got the Bulldog puppy in there, which is sort of 100 gram vertical jigging, and I've got the Mastiff, which is a heavier duty rod. So I've got the whole range really. This is the way that I reckon reef fish, but I'm going to do a video on this maybe next week, so hopefully you'll get something off of that. As I said, you haven't. I love it. I love lure fishing, so I use these, but you don't really have to go to this extreme if you're a beginner. You know, when you get the bug, then buy. I mean, this is a Rolls Royce. I'm just waiting for 2 of these saltwater Shimano Stellas to come from Japan. Cost me an absolute fortune, but it is what it is. I love my fishing, so I'm hoping we're going to get, yeah, we've got an inquiry on that one now, so let's get myself prepared. I don't know if that's in the wreck. I don't think that's a fish. I think that's in the wreck. Right, I got him out the wreck. I think he might have let go. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I wasn't quick enough with it. Hopefully I've still got my trace. Let's have a look at the bait. Yeah, you can see where he's mullered that. He's taken the head, so I'll change that over. That's quite a large one, so I'm going to cut that one in half. Be nice and fleshy then. So yeah, that was cut in half, so all them juices are there. Let's get this one back over. I think I might be too close into this wreck, I'll be honest. Now, the tide's moved round. So I'm just slightly concerned I'm a little bit too far into this wreck. But I've just slightly moved over to one side, so it's almost like we're starting on the ebb now. No, I think I'm going to re-anchor and drift over it a couple of times, make sure that we're running correctly, and then I can anchor on this wreck properly. Even though it says it's slack water at 8:30, it doesn't always work like that. It you know, sometimes the tide does different things. You know, it'll move you different ways at certain times, and other times it'll you know, it'll be slack water an hour before it's supposed to be, and sometimes it'll be an hour after. You know, it's just how it works sometimes. Right, I'm going to get the anchor up, and then I'm going to position myself back round. I might do a little bit of lure fishing while I'm waiting for the drift to sort itself out. Right, so I've just got the anchor in, so I'm going to turn round the way that I think we're running, which we should be, well, we should be on slack water, but it looks like we're ebbing now, so should be going this way from right to left. So let's get myself into position, and I'll just mess about with my lure rod until I know exactly where we're drifting, and then I'll set the anchor again and try for some congers. So let's get ourselves around. What I'm going to do before I get round here, I'm going to actually reset my trails. So let's delete my trails, delete all. So I'll set a new trail up, do it in a different colour. Let's go blue. Okay, so then I can see where I am. Got a new set of trails, so I can see exactly where I'm running through this wreck. Let's just go up a little bit. Okay, right, so what I'll do is I'll whack the lure rod down and just have a little play around with this new rod. I think I'm going to put I've got some quite nice lemon ones here that I want to try, slightly heavier. Nice, these are the new Savage Gear ones. I'll try this over here, and this generally isn't a wreck I fish when I'm sort of pollocking or whatever. I know they're on here. These clips are just a little bit too small for these lures, but I'll get them on, that's it. Okay, so I've just come, I'll position myself back round, I think. I've just come over that. So we're sort of zigzagging now, so we're turning in the tide. Let's get over a lump of it. Once I start to drift, once the tide picks up and you start to drift correctly, then I'll be able to anchor.
think I was just a little bit too late to start with, and I shouldn't have anchored really. So there you go. Alright, so let's try this with this new rod. Okay, so I'm down there now, and I'm about 100 foot away from this, from the boat. So you're getting nice sweeping actions. That lure should be working really well in that water. So we're coming across it, we're not drifting that fast. I think I'll just come up on the wreck a bit too quick. We'll just have a play, half hour or whatever, and when the tide starts moving the way that it will do for the rest of the ebb tide, then I can anchor. Let's slowly retrieve this. I'll go back round. Oh, right, we're into a fish there. Nice. See, sometimes just slowly bringing it in, the fish will take it. I don't think it's anything special, but it's nice. First one on this rod. Lovely action. Oh, I don't know what it is. Diving a little bit. That's a little pollock. Only a baby. A pollock all the same. Caught on that savage gear. I'll go back round and I'll just have a little play around with this until the tide does what it's supposed to be doing. Lovely action on that rod. Really pleased with it. Skip's getting right in the way today. Bless him. He's sometimes winding these lures up. You'll get them when you're winding up. So it's all about working that lure. Didn't really have any intentions on lure fishing at all, really. It's the wrong tide. So it's perfect tide for congers, but as I say, I don't fish this wreck at all for lure fishing. This is just really a conger wreck for me. Oh yeah, I mean, nice. The action on this rod is superb. That's a nice pollock. Well, there you go. I'll never fish it for pollock. Seeing quite a lot of fish down there. Yeah, that's a fatty. Yeah, that's a nice one. Not that big, probably £6. Let's get a photo. Okay, so I came in early. It was a bit of a southwesterly wind out there. It was blowing me, and obviously I couldn't anchor on this wreck. I tried about 4 times. It was wind against tide, so basically when I actually did get my drift to the centre of the wreck, the wind just kept blowing me off, and I reversed back a few times and reset the anchor, and you got to know when to just to give up, really. So I was out quite early this morning, and I had the flood tide, but didn't get anything on that, and then sort of the weather and the tide didn't do what it was supposed to do, but it wasn't very nice out there. Yeah, my intentions are to get a video out every Monday, and it's going to be Manic Monday, and I'll try and get one out every week. So I intend on doing a few tackle setups. I'm going to do a boat talk through what I've got on here, what I'm running, and then, you know, of some of the gear and the tackle that I'm using. But yeah, I hope you enjoy the videos. Quite a lot coming up. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, and tell a friend. I appreciate if you would subscribe, and please tell a friend. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying the channel, and hopefully a lot more is going to come from it. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching.